with your forecast first. Brought to you by McDonald's Shell, your fuel rewards network.
Good evening. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. Boy, how things have changed over a day. Scattered showers and thunderstorms have been moving all across central Illinois. Currently, with some showers moving through, it's 57 degrees in Pontiac. But further south is where we're seeing some little bit heavier showers and heavier downpours. Peoria just got done with one. More rain on the way for Bloomington normal. In fact, the threat of storms is going to continue tonight with a lot more moisture pushing in from the southwest. So storms will continue on and off throughout the rest of this evening. But heading into tomorrow, we are tracking a risk of severe weather. We'll have that forecast coming up. WMBD News at 6 starts now.
Tonight, a strange sight in East Peoria. Why this water tank is being moved across central Illinois.
It's about identifying those people who are likely to succeed and literally targeting them.
Plus, the Peoria Police Department welcomes new officers. How the force took a different approach to land the recruits. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Topping our news tonight, health headlines and how they affect you. We have the results of the Peoria City County Health Report and why mosquito concerns are causing inspections to increase in central Illinois. But there's a jump in Alzheimer's diagnoses statewide. And according to the Alzheimer's Association, there were 10,000 more patients diagnosed in 2015 than in 2014. WMBD's Rachel Kay found out more about the increase.
Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, according to the CDC. And Jenna Walkvital with the Central Illinois Alzheimer's Association says the number of patients is growing.
Just as we're seeing an increase of people being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, we're going to see a need for more facilities that are going to be able to care for these people as they age.
That's where places like Liberty Village come into play. Julie Seaver is a coordinator for the Garden Court branch, which currently cares for 15 Alzheimer's patients. She also has a personal connection to the disease through her dad.
It wasn't the dementia that caused him to pass. He forgot to eat, to drink. He forgot how to swallow.
She says a lot of people are otherwise healthy when they're first diagnosed, so the disease can mean years of care.
We had a pharmacist that was diagnosed with dementia. From the initial onset of the diagnosis to the time he passed was 15 years.
That's really just recognizing, finding early diagnosis of the disease, and also with the aging of the baby boomers. Those are two really big reasons.
As a result, more and more care facilities are popping up around the area, but there are still waiting lists.
I was fortunate to be able to care for my dad at home, but it's not a one-person job by any means.
Seaver doesn't see other facilities as competition. Instead, they're helping keep up with the need for more resources and space. In Peoria, Rachel Kay, WMBD News.
The Alzheimer's Association projects the number of patients will triple by 2050 from 5.4 million now to 16 million nationwide. Well, the Peoria City County Health Department says there's been a drop in people being treated for sexually transmitted diseases. That's according to its 2015 annual report comparing the health and wellness of our community between 2014 and 2015. The report covers everything from dental health to lead hazard removal. Specifically, it shows the number of patients being tested or treated for STDs is down over 200 from one year to the next. It also shows fewer kids are being immunized. The report in Peoria County also says mosquito inspections are up. With the mosquito spread Zika virus on everyone's mind as we head into the spring and summer months, it's something to be aware of. In fact, pest control company Orkin released a list of the top 50 cities across the country when it comes to mosquito problems. Although you might expect the worst cases to be in the southeast, Chicago was second, right behind Atlanta. Washington, D.C., Detroit, and New York rounded out the top 5. Keeping bridges safe for drivers is a top priority for the state. Inspectors are keeping an eye on over a dozen bridges in Peoria County that are deemed structurally deficient. That means one or more parts of the bridge is in poor condition. Inspectors are looking at these bridges and turning in their findings to get the problems fixed. Crews from the Illinois Department of Transportation also began inspections on parts of the Cedar Street Bridge. Some parts of that bridge that travel over railroad tracks need to be fixed, and construction could start soon. For more on the bridges, you can head over to our website, ciproud.com. The Bob Michael Bridge had to hold a heavy load today. A truck carrying a 24-foot tall water storage tank was scheduled to cross. WMBD caught up to the truck before the bridge in East Peoria as it tried to maneuver its way through a railroad crossing. The tank is heading to the ADM plant in Peoria. It caused significant traffic delays and detours during its trip from Tremont to Peoria. Illinois State Troopers and police in Peoria and East Peoria helped make the move happen today. Well, Peoria's police department is seeing its new recruiting strategy pay off as the force swears in its newest officers. WMBD's Hannah Hilliard spoke to the police chief today. She joins us now from the newsroom with the story that's new tonight. Hannah?
Well, Paul, Peoria police just swore in 7 new officers this week. 3 of the 7 are women, 3 of the 7 are black, and it's all part of the force's new recruiting and marketing approach.
So it's kind of fishing with a spear as opposed to a net is our philosophy now.
These new officers got to go through the new process, and through it, Chief Jerry Mitchell says the department has stepped up its communication game, making sure to follow up with every person they meet at a career fair or different events, and then staying in touch with them throughout the entire application process. The Peoria Police Department is still short about 10 officers. Chief Mitchell says this is just the first round of hires. More should be sworn in soon. Paul?
All right, thanks, Hannah. Still to come, keeping Twin Cities golfers on the greens. The development for courses in the city of Bloomington.
It just kind of makes you stop what you're doing. You know, it's not just like, oh yeah, my phone's buzzing again, no big deal.
And still ahead, we continue Severe Weather Week with a look at how new technology can keep you safe if severe weather strikes. And in your full forecast, we are tracking a lot more rain showers and possibly some severe thunderstorms for tomorrow. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
You're watching WMBD News at 6 in high definition with Paul Cicchini, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local Weather Authority forecast, and Kurt Fegler with sports. This is WMBD News at 6, Central Illinois proud. Storm Tracker Skycam Network, brought to you by Parker Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. Now, your local Weather Authority, WMBD's Chief Meteorologist, Chris Yates.
Welcome back. Well, showers and thunderstorms continue to impact central Illinois. One location that has just seen round after round of heavy rain, Bloomington. In fact, thankfully, the rain has lightened up a little bit. Nice shot from our Dillman Brothers Skycam, but the rain, even though it's a bit lighter now, is only going to pick up in intensity again in the next 30 minutes or so. Temperature 56 degrees. No surprise, the air is completely saturated. Winds are from the south-southwest now at 15 miles per hour. But widely scattered showers and thunderstorms moving across much of central Illinois. Bloomington, you have a lot more moderate to heavy rain moving in from the south. Here in Peoria, we are tracking more moisture coming in from the southwest, which is currently between Burlington, Iowa, and out near Macomb. But a couple of heavy downpours out near Pontiac. Then back to the west here, areas like Washington, Morton getting a nice downpour at times, El Paso picking up a little bit of heavy rain as well. But more rain on the way from the southwest, and there's nothing really to stop this moisture from streaming in tonight. We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing on and off this evening. Now, some storms may be strong, producing some gusty winds, maybe some small hail. We don't expect any widespread severe weather tonight, but that risk may increase a bit as we head into tomorrow. And that's because this cold front that's going to be coming in and sweeping across the Midwest tomorrow is slowing down a little bit. And tomorrow morning, if this front is just now pushing along the Illinois River by 9 o'clock, there will be enough time for the atmosphere to destabilize a bit, especially east of the river. And that's going to allow more thunderstorms to fire up tomorrow afternoon, and some of these storms may become strong to severe with all modes of severe weather possible. So because of that, the Storm Prediction Center has put much of central Illinois under a slight risk for severe weather. The greatest risk is going to be further east across southeast and eastern portions of Illinois straight into Indiana. Now, this threat mainly includes areas east of the Illinois River, but if the front slows down any more, that risk may be pushed back to the west a little bit. But our primary risk going through tomorrow will be large hail, 60+ mile-per-hour wind speeds, and even a few isolated tornadoes. But the tornado threat looks to be greatest mainly along and east of I-55 for tomorrow. So showers and thunderstorms continue on and off this evening. Again, heavy downpours, gusty winds, small hail a possibility. We'll likely get a break around midnight before a few more stray showers and storms push on through. And then tomorrow, I think we are going to be, for the most part, rain-free. Now, temperatures tonight have pretty much already hit their lows down into the 50s. Temperatures may actually warm up as we go through the rest of this evening, and that's going to set the stage for some destabilization tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up again. This is when we could see some severe weather, large hail, damaging winds, and maybe an isolated tornado or two, but by early evening, the threat is gone. Temperatures cool off a bit after topping out in the 60s out west, lower 70s out east, Peoria in between, with a high of 67. So that extended forecast, some strong to severe storms tomorrow, scattered rain showers on Friday with temperatures into the lower 50s. And then looking ahead to the weekend, that is when we start seeing temperatures warm up a little bit before cooling off yet again early next week with temperatures down into the 40s. All right, continuing our severe weather week coverage tonight, I'm now joined by meteorologist Rachel Kay. Rachel, we've been talking about how severe weather develops, but a big piece of the puzzle is getting the word out to people at home.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. And although we hate to admit it as meteorologists, a lot of people don't have weather radios at home. But just about everyone has a cell phone these days, and the National Weather Service is putting modern technology to use when it comes to warning people about severe storms. Wireless emergency alerts are automatically sent through cell phone towers within a warning if there's a tornado, high wind, or flash flooding. It's part of an agreement between the government and cell phone providers, and you may have heard that special tone go off. The idea is to get people's attention as soon as possible because seconds can save lives when it comes to taking cover. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Lincoln say it doesn't add any more steps to their to-do list. In fact, it makes getting the word out easier than it's ever been before.
They will continue to transmit that signal for the entire duration of the warning that was coded in the initial warning. So if anyone that's driving along an interstate or through that area and enters inside the box and they become alerted by that nearby tower, cell tower, so their phone will go off as well.
Now, Shimon wants to emphasize that the alert doesn't replace the need for weather radios. A radio will give you more details on the impacts of the storms heading your way. And with new technology, some are even incorporating GPS. But if you do hear an alert go off and want more information, tune into your local weather authority right here on WMBD. We'll be right back.
You're watching WMBD News at 6.
Golfers in the Twin Cities are feeling like they hit the fairway this week. That's because the city of Bloomington decided to maintain ownership of its 3 golf courses. City leaders had been considering outsourcing management to save money. WMBD's Lindsay Harrison has more on the plans moving forward.
While the city of Bloomington was considering privatizing the golf courses, local golfers were doing everything they could to make sure that didn't happen, and their hard work paid off.
I was relieved.
Roger Eckhart is an avid golfer who has been playing Bloomington courses for nearly a decade.
The quality of the courses is excellent.
And when the city started looking into the possibility of outsourcing, he was one of the loudest voices speaking out against the idea.
I was afraid we were going to start losing that. And if you start losing your golf courses, what's next?
After hearing horror stories about other courses that had been privatized, Eckhart and his fellow golfers not only spoke out, they put together a petition with 100 signatures from golfers all over Illinois and even other states.
The council members were kind of surprised that there were people coming from that far away to play our golf courses.
And on Monday evening, the council got the message loud and clear, voting to keep ownership of the courses.
We have control over the property. We can keep them in the condition that the customers expect.
The city's golf superintendent says it isn't just average golfers playing. They host tournaments and bring in plenty of tourism dollars.
They're coming in to stay in hotels and eat at our restaurants.
And with the support of the city, the courses can start to make some positive changes.
Now that we can look into the future, we can start to make some plans for improvements and getting some new equipment that will all lead to better golf courses.
Now, it's only been a few days, but local golfers are already telling us that they are looking into ways to draw more people into these courses. In Bloomington, Lindsay Harrison, WMBD News.
While golf has been down nationwide over the last few years, the resolution that passed on Monday showed that in 2015, the city's courses took in more money than their operational costs. A former Peoria soccer star is ready to launch his professional career. Kurt has that story and more next in sports.
Now, your local sports with WMBD's Kurt Pegler.
With all this talk about the Riverman getting locked out of their home ice for next month's SPHL playoffs, Coach John Trudell adds this: his team may not be ready for the postseason. The Rivermen have 2 weeks remaining in the regular season, and the team with the league's best record opens the playoffs. But after suffering their first 3-game losing streak of the season earlier this month, Trudell says his team is not yet playoff ready.
We saw it the last few weekends. We're not ready. I think Pensacola was an eye-opener for us, seeing that we're not ready. We worked hard, but not smart. We were getting away from our little things, the little things that make you win the playoffs, and we're getting back at that. So give us 2 weeks and we'll be ready.
There are 5 games left on the Rivs schedule, 2 this weekend on the road and 3 next week at home. This weekend, former Notre Dame soccer star Vince Cicerelli makes his pro debut. He hopes to be the first of many pro soccer players that can call Peoria home. Vince Cicerelli is about to reach a goal. This week, he'll play in his first pro soccer game.
You know, might not be living the most luxurious life, but not many people are who, you know, are trying to make it in professional sports. You know, a lot of people start out on lower levels to work their way up, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But regardless, I'm not going to be in the quote-unquote real work world. So even if this is it, you know, I got to experience something pretty special.
The former Peoria Notre Dame star will play for St. Louis in the 2019 United Soccer League, a feeder league for America's top pro soccer league, the MLS. Cicerelli was drafted by MLS Columbus last month, but was not guaranteed a spot on its first team playing rotation.
No MLS team is going to realistically bring you in to be a starter when you haven't proven yourself on the professional level yet. So really it's about being on a team where I can play against, you know, the best players in that league and in that country and show that I can, you know, keep up with the best and hopefully continue to improve.
From Peoria, Illinois, Cicerelli will become the first Peoria-born soccer player to make a pro opening day roster this week. He hopes he's opened the door for future soccer players from Central Illinois.
I've talked to a lot of people who, you know, weren't from the biggest cities, who didn't play at the top colleges or in the top academy programs, you know, in youth soccer, and they've made it even further than I have. And I think there's no doubt in my mind that kids from this area and, you know, in rural areas and other parts of the country can easily make it big.
Good luck to Vince. Briefly, Cardinals won their final spring game in Florida. Cubs win their final spring game in Arizona. White Sox drop theirs. Baseball's opening day is Sunday. Finally, at today's Cardinals game, we see Matt Adams, spring training tan line. Watch it, he's going to take his helmet off. Look at that haircut. There's no tan under the helmet, and definitely the tan line just above the...
Kind of wish you didn't shave the head
Yeah,
there,
well,
right?
yeah, it shows a little bit more than you wanted.
New kind of farmer's tan, I guess, right?
Yes.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Don't go anywhere. Chris has the last look at the forecast after the break.
You're watching WMBD News at 6.
Buying a sandwich today for lunch or dinner tonight helps kids who need it most.
I thought maybe we would beat the crowd, but it's nice to see so many people here already.
Lines were out the door at Jersey Mike's in East Peoria. It's part of the Day of Giving, with 100% of sales going to Easter seals. The store's been collecting donations for the charity since the beginning of March. Today's sales were by far the largest for the entire month, as you expect, because if you offer people some food to buy some food, they will come out, spend some money, and do it for a good cause always, I think. I think we're going to head there for dinner after work, so you guys are invited.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are too.
In the process of heading out, keep the umbrella with you. And make sure it's a good one, because we got some pretty good downpours coming in. Winds will also be gusty, so hang on tight with both hands. You're going to need it. Temperatures dropping into the 50s tonight. Some gusty storms possible. Tomorrow, more showers and storms. Could see a few strong to severe storms as well. Now, the way it looks right now, the greatest risk for severe weather is going to be east of the Illinois River. But that may change. If the front slows down any further, Peoria becomes in a greater play for that severe weather as well. So something we're going to keep watching as we go through tomorrow.
Yeah, please do. All right, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Kurt. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget, WMBD News is available on air, online, and on the go. You can head over to our website, ciproud.com, and get the latest news on our app for your phone or tablet. We'll see you at 10.